yalla, yalla, here, yalla, here, yalla, here. गाड़ी में आवाज को
On August 27th and 28th, 2025, Yunnan Province, China, was rocked by a devastating dam failure triggered by an unprecedented deluge, the heaviest rainfall in over a decade. This wasn't just a storm, it was a wake-up call, exposing the fragility of even modern infrastructure when nature unleashes its full force. The collapse, fueled by the lingering effects of Typhoon Keiki and a powerful monsoonal convergence, sent walls of water roaring through communities, swallowing roads, paralyzing transport, and forcing thousands to flee their homes. Let's pause for a second to consider what's happening here. Typhoon Keiki's remnants combined with monsoon patterns created a perfect storm, literally. This kind of extreme weather is becoming more frequent globally, and it's pushing infrastructure to its limits. Yunnan's story is a stark reminder that even regions with advanced systems can be caught off guard. The deluge overwhelmed Yunnan's critical infrastructure, from highways to public transit, leaving entire towns cut off. In Chuxiong City, for example, rainfall hit a staggering 70.1 millimeters in a single hour, a volume that's almost unthinkable. To put that into perspective, imagine a fire hose dumping water non-stop for 60 minutes straight. Urban centers, including Chuxiong and parts of Kunming, saw streets transform into rushing rivers, with floodwaters breaching homes and stranding residents. This level of rainfall is what meteorologists call a one-in-a-decade event, but with climate patterns shifting, these so-called rare events are happening more often. The fact that Chuxiong alone saw 70.1 millimeters in an hour shows how quickly conditions can escalate, leaving little time for response. The Yunnan Meteorological Agency issued an urgent blue rainstorm warning in the early hours, but the sheer intensity of the downpour outpaced preparations. Despite recent investments in sponge city initiatives, urban designs meant to absorb and manage heavy rainfall, the province's drainage systems buckled. Culverts and storm drains, overwhelmed by runoff, turned low-lying areas into lakes and exposed glaring weaknesses in flood defenses. Sponge cities are a brilliant concept. Think of them as urban landscapes designed to act like a sponge, soaking up rain to prevent flooding. But when you get rainfall this extreme, even the best systems can fail. It's a sobering lesson for cities worldwide. Infrastructure upgrades need to keep pace with worsening weather patterns. Local authorities acted swiftly, ordering evacuations in vulnerable areas, particularly low-lying neighborhoods and regions near hills at risk of landslides. Emergency response teams, including firefighters, medical personnel, and transportation crews, fanned out across the province. Their mission? Rescue stranded residents, clear flooded streets, and watch for secondary threats like mudslides, which can be just as deadly as the floods themselves. This rapid response is commendable, but it also highlights the strain on emergency services during a crisis of this scale. Coordinating evacuations, rescues, and infrastructure monitoring in the middle of a deluge is no small feat. It's a testament to the dedication of these teams, but also a reminder of how stretched resources can become. Residents were urged to steer clear of flooded zones, avoid underpasses, and refrain from driving on waterlogged roads. A critical warning, as floodwaters can hide deadly hazards like open manholes or debris. The transportation network took a massive hit. Flights were grounded, and key sections of Yunnan's subway system shut down as water inundated stations and tracks. Flooded subways and canceled flights aren't just inconveniences, they're economic and social disruptors. When transport grinds to a halt, it affects everything from supply chains to people's ability to get to safety. This kind of disruption shows how interconnected our systems are and how one failure can cascade into many. By the end of the ordeal, over 10,000 people had been evacuated across Yunnan, with thousands more displaced in nearby areas. The scale of the crisis laid bare a hard truth. Even regions with significant resources can be overwhelmed by extreme weather events. This wasn't just a local tragedy, it was a signal to the world that our infrastructure, planning, and preparedness need to evolve to meet the challenges of a changing climate. Closing scene. Footage of evacuees being sheltered and emergency crews working tirelessly, with a voiceover emphasizing resilience and the need for action. As we reflect on Yunnan's floods, it's clear this is more than a regional story. It's a global one. From hurricanes in the Americas to monsoons in Asia, extreme weather is testing our ability to adapt. The question now is, will we learn from this and build stronger, or will we keep playing catch up with nature? Let me know in the comments what you think cities should do to prepare for these kinds of disasters. A powerful storm system has swept through central and southwestern China, leaving a trail of destruction far beyond its initial impact in Yunnan. Provinces like Guizhou and Sichuan have faced unprecedented flooding, with over 25 rivers surpassing safe water levels. Several rivers have even set new historical highs, creating dangerous conditions for local communities. In Guizhou, the Qishui River has reached its highest level since 1953, a record-breaking surge that underscores the severity of this event. Similarly, in Sichuan, the Shawa River hit a peak not seen in nearly 3 decades. These rising waters have forced the relocation of over 80,000 residents across the region in recent days, as authorities work tirelessly to ensure safety. Experts point to a rare combination of monsoonal moisture, remnants of a typhoon, and increasingly frequent climate extremes as the driving forces behind this disaster. Meteorologists note that convergent zones, areas where tropical moisture feeds into inland weather systems, are becoming more intense due to global warming. This creates a perfect storm for heavy rainfall and flooding. The floods follow a grueling heat wave, putting immense pressure on emergency response systems. Dams and levees are under strain, with some at risk of breaching. Public health officials have issued urgent warnings about contaminated food and water supplies as floodwaters increase the risk of waterborne diseases. Residents are urged to boil water, avoid contact with floodwaters, and report any signs of illness promptly. With more rain forecast through August 29th, the threat of additional flooding looms, particularly in hilly and rural areas. Authorities are on high alert, and the Yunnan Meteorological Bureau is providing regular updates. Provincial governments have committed to sustained rescue operations and real-time information to keep residents informed as the situation evolves. The flooding in Yunnan and beyond is part of a larger weather crisis gripping China this summer. From Guangzhou to Chongqing, cities are bracing for more rain. This event highlights the growing challenge of adapting urban centers to extreme weather driven by climate change. Images of submerged streets, strained dams, and displaced families serve as a sobering reminder of the vulnerability of even the most developed regions. Thank you for watching, where we deliver clear, factual insights into nature's most powerful moments. If this video helped you stay informed, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps us going. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with our calm, clear, and accurate reports.